Hey guys, it's Friday, October 13th. Interesting morning, really interesting morning. On the one hand, we don't really have any stock specific catalysts, well, except the financial companies, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and I think that's part of what you're seeing here. Markets flying because Citigroup and JP Morgan, they beat earnings on higher net interest income. You can see Citigroup there, and also importantly, lower. Wow, look at this. Lower loan defaults. Okay, Citigroup and JP Morgan hit it out of the park. Now, maybe I'm missing out here. I have never traded big banks financials, um, because their PEs are always so low. You can see a PE of 9, so it's I don't know. It's hard for me to value what a financial company should be worth. But so it's not on my watch list. None of these are on my watch list. I didn't take a good close look at these, but you can see the entire sector is exploding. Probably even the ones that didn't report are probably exploding. Did Wells Fargo report? Yeah, they also reported. So they all beat, man. They all beat on higher net interest income, lower defaults. That seems to be sending the market up. And then you have TLT up 2%, which is also good for risk assets. Good for even regional banks. Obviously, now have two tailwinds. The big banks did well, and now TLT's up. These lower rates that we're seeing this morning, obviously good for IWM and RK. So everything's green. If someone knows why gold is surged, this is a huge, gigantic move in gold. Is it related to the war? Fear going into the weekend? That's basically our theme all week has been the Israel war, focusing on defense, energy, border control, guns. That's what we've been really focusing on, and that really kind of is our playbook for today as well. Since we don't have news on any of our specific stocks, if anyone knows what's going on with gold, please let us know. But in this list, I don't follow any big financials, so I don't know. Maybe I should have been focused on Citigroup and Wells Fargo and JP Morgan this morning and playing those. But as far as our list of stocks, there's nothing going on. Nothing going on except for PSQH, which had a little press release, which I'll talk about in a second. But where I'm focused on, and I think it could still do good today. I know the market's ripping, but I'm still really focused on this Israel war. And there's two main components of that Israel war that's going to inform to the weekend. That's a long weekend, 2 days. Anything can happen regionally, right? There's a lot of tensions in the area, potential of another front opening in Syria, potential of Iran getting involved. So I think defense stocks can do really good today. That fear going into the weekend, especially towards the end of the day. I can see Lockheed Martin. Look how great Northrop Grumman's doing. It was our number one pick a couple of days ago because of the analyst saying this is the better, more undervalued one, Northrop Grumman, compared to Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. But all three of these, I think, can have very good days and particularly good afternoons. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that's a thesis. And then we have Geo, SWBI, POW, and RGR, which I think can all be in play today because of the global terrorist threat today. And there's already been incidents internationally, at least 3 major incidents. Well, major meaning not like, what we'll see today are lone wolves, right? That's the type of stuff we'll see today. We're not going to see an organized terrorist attack that Hopefully, it never happens again. But if it does, it'll happen when no one expects it. When they like to surprise you. But as far as the call across the world for regular people to maybe do terrorist attacks, so you could see lone wolf attacks. So there's been like two or three things this morning internationally: France, China, and there may be more. I haven't checked my Twitter in like 45 minutes, but in any case, so I basically have two sets of ideas today: defense, and then border and guns. So we already have some swing positions in Lockheed, Geo, SWBI, and PAL, but we might be doing some day trades as well, taking bigger positions in all of these. My three favorite. Now let's start ordering them a little bit here. It's hard to say with these defense stocks. They're all good, honestly. But let's just say Lockheed, Geo, SWBI. But NOC, I got to admit, it's been performing the best, right? And again, according to that analyst, it's most undervalued. And Raytheon's been interesting to me because it hasn't bounced up as much of the rest. And it's been taking a big hit this year. And also, this is the company that created the Iron Dome for Israel. So I'm not sure if they get any repeat orders from this, or if there's other countries who may be interested in Iron Dome. But this is a laggard that maybe could catch up. I don't think you could go wrong today if the thesis plays out. Obviously, it doesn't matter which one you're in; they'll all do well. If I'm right about the market psychology and particularly what will happen towards the end of the day, whichever one you pick, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon will do well. I like SWBI as far as the guns. There's Geo and CXW. I like Geo better as the border stock, and I like Smith and Wesson better than PAL as the gun company stock. More recognizable brand name, better chart. It's hit a new high yesterday, new 52-week high yesterday. So so definitely, let's just call it Geo, SWBI, and some defense stock, whichever one you pick. Okay. Now, there's a couple other items to talk about. PSQH had this news out. I'm not so inclined to jump on this news. They're pre-announcing earnings. They're saying, "Hey, our sequential revenue is up 300% to 2.2 million," and they're saying we plan to be management reiterates expectation of first profitable quarter in 2024. Okay. Here's the problem. Let me just go look at that comment about the first we intend to achieve our first profitable quarter in 2024. Okay. Well, which quarter in 2024? Okay. The fourth quarter. And then also, they say they have 25 million cash, but they don't talk about their cash burn. Is that enough cash to get them to the profitable quarter? So there's a couple issues here, because when you see a stock, let's go to Webull. I don't have the chart here on TD, but when you see a stock demolished like this, there's only one reason for it. Let's go. Okay, you see that? That one reason is worry that they need to dilute. Right, we talked about this ad nauseum this year. Okay, so you could get a bounce here. Maybe it's the bottom of a reversal, but I don't think it's something that's an inflection point. Let's put it that way. I don't think this is an inflection point in the stock. It might be a bounce in the stock. You can see it's up 25 cents. It hit like 550 earlier, but it's very low volume. Maybe if it fills a gap, I may be interested in a day trade or something like that, like 460, something like that. But I think we got better things going on today. All right. Yatra. Yatra earnings are Monday morning. In India, the stock was up over 10% at one point and closed up, I think, close to 7%. FOMO and excitement going into the Monday morning earnings report. So we'll see if that follows through today. Okay, no guarantees it'll follow through today, but let's see. We're monitoring that. And LL unfortunately didn't have a great close yesterday. I was expecting better at the end of the day, and this morning not doing too great. Historically, look, when it had these, I believe this was also a rumor about a buyout. Look at these two spikes. That was it. Those were the peaks that just pulled back. So I'm not so optimistic unless somehow the company comes out and says, yeah, we're accepting the offer today. I don't know that that's going to happen. It doesn't seem likely that that would happen. So yeah, LL not really going to be a top pick today. Okay. All right. Other stuff that we're like, there's no news on any of these, but if the market's going to continue up, there's one I have in mind that I think could do well. That's Peloton. Peloton has been holding this 20 DMA. It's tested it several times, and in a really bad market yesterday, it again held the 20 DMA. Okay. So if we see a continuation of this market and you see RK and IWM having a great day, then maybe you can see Peloton, because Peloton has really been trying to break out above 550. It's had a couple shots at it. It's really holding support well. Is all after the Lulu news. So I could see Peloton, if the market continues and has a great day, then Peloton can maybe re-challenge 550 and make its move towards our swing target of $6. I'm going to move Peloton up on the list so we can monitor a little closer. Let's go to Peloton. We'll move that higher. But I gotta say, look, I kind of want to maybe even apologize that, look, I just don't trade, and I've never had any of these big finance companies on my watch list, and maybe that was a missed opportunity. So take a look at the news. If you want to trade these, go for it. Okay. Okay, that these may end up being the best for today. I just don't know. I just don't know how to value them. Like I said, the PEs are always so low, and it confuses me. And kind of like oil, which I never trade oil. Well, when did we started trading oil? A couple times last week, because the Oxy and the Pure, and then we started looking at Exxon, because I don't know. Why do we even look at Exxon? I don't know, because the buyout they're doing. I don't know what's going on. All right. Anyway. Usually, I don't do energy and financials. Just their PEs are always so low, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. So, in any case, today, top picks are going to be, let's see what order. LMT, Geo, SWI. Okay. I'm just thinking this through for a second. Wow, look at LMT is up 1%. Okay. All right, I'm gonna order this by something like LMT is great for options if it works out. Okay, because of $438 price, and same with NOC. They may be good for stock options, but as far as share price appreciation, I'm really thinking this terror threat day has legs. Listen, the gun. This is what I'm excited. I keep thinking of the SWBI. All right. I keep thinking about SWBI because I've never seen so many people, not only on social media, but in my own circle, say, we got to get guns. I've never seen this ever in my life, ever. In the 44 years I've been living in the United States of America, I have never, ever, ever seen anything like this. Okay. So I keep thinking about SWBI and the fact it had a 52-week high yesterday, and going into this weekend, can it really, maybe it can break out of this 52-week high? Where would it go if it breaks out of this 52-week high? Let me just move to it did yesterday. I did it yesterday. Let's see if we do it again. Is this a weekly chart? Yeah. Okay. So SWI, it's tough to say, today. I really like SWI for a swing, but this can get into the mid 15. See the top here? I think that's where if we break out on volume, I think the target's going to be the top of this candle here, about 1560. Okay. So I keep thinking about SWI and how maybe I want to have a big position in SWI, even though it's a low price stock. I'm thinking about maybe we should do calls in SWBI. And the other thing I have to admit is that Geo has been super, super strong. It really has. And this one has resistance at 909. Yeah. Has to get through 909, and then okay. So I really like Geo and SWBI. And then, of course, the defense stocks. That's where my head's at today. As far as for our number one that we keep track of, where we're still 85%, we were wrong on Exxon yesterday. we're probably still at 85 to 87% of our number one picks do well. But that one was a fail yesterday. So for today, what's it going to be? Someone help me out here. Is it SWBI or is it Lockheed? Also, man, I'm so intrigued by Raytheon maybe catching up today. And of course, NOC has been the best performer. So I'm not even sure out of those defense stocks. All right. You know what? I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to just take SWBI up a notch. And I'm just putting Lockheed first because we're trying to focus on options. We're trying to create this track record where the number one pick of the day goes up. So even if LMT is up, let's say 1.5% today or 2%, something like that, and then SWBI, let's say it's up 3% or 4%, or Geo's up 3% or 4%, our play mostly is to try to catch a move on a high price stock with a lower percentage move. So we're going to put LMT at the top, even though I kind of like SWBI and Geo better in some ways. Okay. And that's it. And I think NOC and RTX, great plays as well. POWW, another gun stock, a gun play, but I think SWBI is better. RGR, another gun play you can look at. And then maybe we'll catch PSQH a little bit on a gap fill. And Peloton is kind of like the only swing long play we have that can benefit acutely if the market continues up sharply today. So that's the situation here, and we'll see how it goes. LMT, SWBI, Geo, and a couple other defense stocks. All right, we got 3 defense stocks in the top 5. Good luck, guys. I'll give you an update at 1 p.m.